Hello every pony, this is Rob Royale, and welcome back to another reading of My Little Background Pony, Friendship is Magic. It's a couple days after Christmas, so I hope you all had a happy Heartswarming, or Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrated. I just hope you all really had a good holidays. Eat a lot of food? I know I did. It was glorious. Well, New Year's coming up soon, and this horrendous year of 2014 will be over. Do any of you share that sentiment that this year was not very good? I don't know, I felt like a lot of crap happened this year, and hopefully 2015 will be a lot better. Anyway, this next chapter is called The Doctor is In, and this made me geek out a lot, so I'm sorry in advance if I have an outburst. I really gotta give it to the author. He pegged it really nicely for Doctor Who fans. I really enjoyed this chapter. So, without further ado... Oh, wait, no. Disclaimer. I might actually be getting a few female voices in. Might. I was talking about this with some of my friends, and they were like, oh, well, if you'd like, we can do voices for you. And I'm like, really? So, that's a maybe. It's up in the air. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but if it does, then these videos may get a little more tolerable, because you won't be listening to me the whole time. Alright, link is in the description. Go comment on ComicFan616's page. He's doing a fantastic job with this. And that's about it. Alright, every pony, let's get started. Nightmare continued laughing until there was a shout from the mayor. Seize her! Only she knows where the princess is! The guards at the front of the audience, all Pegasi, leapt up and prepared to tackle Nightmare. Stand back, you fools! Nightmare's eyes flashed and her horn glowed. A bolt of lightning appeared, the sudden appearance and noise of which blew the guards back to the ground, battered and shaken but otherwise unharmed. Nightmare decided to make her exit and, shifting into a blue mist like before, flowed out of the building. Vinyl finally galloped past Octavia and burst out the door. Octavia ran after her. Lyra also followed them, herself being followed by Bonbon. When they were all outside, Vinyl removed her sunglasses and looked around the town and sky. But Nightmare was nowhere to be seen. Hayseed! She cursed. She's gone! Did she really mean that? Bonbon asked. I mean the whole night shall last forever thing. If the legends are true, Octavia said, I have no doubt. Hey! A voice shouted behind them. They all turned and saw Derpy running toward them. She stopped and panted when she came close. Derpy! Bonbon said. What's wrong? It's Turner, she answered. Tiny? Vinyl asked. What about him? After that mare left, Derpy answered, I looked around and noticed Turner wasn't there anymore. Maybe he ran from the dark alicorn thing promising to create eternal night, Lyra said. Wait, didn't Timey know who that was? Vinyl asked. True, Octavia said. He was the one who correctly identified her. Are you saying Turner has something to do with all this? Bonbon asked. No! Derpy shouted. Everyone looked to her. Turner seemed too nice to be involved with Nightmare Moon. Still, we all have heard this story at some point in our lives, Octavia pointed out. We should have figured it out along with him. He must know something we don't. If only we knew where he was, Lyra said. Maybe then we could ask him. Every pony thought hard for a moment. Suddenly, Derpy spoke up. I think I may have an idea. Derpy led the others to a field just outside of town. Even with the sky still dark, she was able to locate her destination easily. Of course, it helped that there were lights coming out of the box's windows. This is it? Vinyl said. She didn't sound convinced. The other mares had looks of doubt on their faces as well. I saw it appear this afternoon, Derpy explained. I didn't tell any pony about it because they'd all think I was crazy. But when I saw Turner today, I thought he might have something to do with this. But Derpy, Octavia pointed out, there are plenty of other ponies from out of town. They came for the summer sun celebration. Can't say they won't forget anytime soon, Vinyl added. But Turner's the only new pony since this afternoon, Derpy argued. Either way, we don't have much else to go on. She put her hoof around the doorknob and pulled. Come on, come on! The doctor kept repeating to himself. I know you can do it. He was pacing around a large room with his sonic screwdriver in his hoof. He put it to the console in the center of the room. The screwdriver made strange whirring noises when he had it where he wanted it. Right now, he had it next to the monitor. They just had to take everything out, didn't they? Since he won't be using the TARDIS anymore, might as well shut down the computer, right? And they wonder why I don't particularly like them sometimes. The Doctor continued to work on the console. I mean, yes, I realize I won't get her up and running anytime soon, but did they ever stop to think that something might just happen anyway, that only I can handle? And that I might just need information? And that I might just need this computer for some information? The Doctor was very irritable. Between his current situation and the one that just fell onto his back, he was amazed she managed to stay as calm as he was. Finally, the monitor blinked on and started going through information at a rapid pace. Finally, he groaned. Okay, sweetheart. What we need is Nightmare Moon. He started typing on a keyboard, and we better hurry. The longer we wait, the less chance we have to... Suddenly, the Doctor heard what sounded like screams. He looked behind him and saw, to his surprise, all 5 mares he had met today piled on top of each other in the doorway. Told you had to push, Vinyl said. Give me a break, Derby defended. The door said pull. Girls, Lyra said. She was looking all around her. Not to interrupt this lovely conversation, but you might want to take a look at this. The other ponies looked up and were speechless for a few seconds. Are my eyes playing tricks on me? Derby asked. Because honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they were. That depends, Bon Bon replied. Are you seeing a room inside a box that is bigger on the inside? What? The Doctor blurted out. Everyone turned to look at him now. Turner! Derby shouted. She got up from the pile and ran over to him. Thanks, Celestia, you're okay. But what? The Doctor said again. What's going on, Timey? Vinyl asked. You know who Nightmare Moon is on site, and you just ran away into a box with a huge room inside it? What? And what is all this stuff? Octavia asked as she looked around. I don't believe I've ever seen anything quite like it. What? Okay, please stop repeating yourself, Lyra said. Just complete the sentence. What are you all doing in here? The Doctor almost shouted. That's better, Lyra said. More importantly, how did you get in here? We opened the door, Vinyl said, pointing at the open doors. I think that'd be obvious. But I had the doors locked, and the only ones who could open them are myself and... The Doctor stopped and thought for a few seconds. Oh, you have got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. He turned back to the console. You let them in. I thought we were trying to keep a low profile. This, he waved toward the girls, this does not fall under low profile. You might have lost low profile when you started living in this box thing, Bon Bon pointed out. And why the hell are you talking to that thing there? Vinyl asked. Technically, the Doctor replied, this thing, as you so quaintly put it, is a she, and she is very much alive and aware of everything I and you are saying, and yes, I realize that saying that out loud makes me look like a mad pony. Derby continued to stare at the Doctor throughout this entire tirade. Who are you? She asked. The Doctor sighed. Well, since you came this far, might as well go the whole way. First of all, my name isn't really Time Turner. Just call me the Doctor. Doctor who? Octavia asked. Just the Doctor, and this is my ship, the TARDIS. Time and relative dimensions in space. Time and space? Lyra repeated. So does that mean you're a space traveler? Or an alien? Vinyl added. Put simply, the Doctor replied, yes and yes. Then give me one good reason why I shouldn't buck you to the moon. Vinyl said, her voice filled with anger. You know all about Nightmare Moon. Then you just disappear after her escape, and now you admit to being an alien? Forgive me for being more than a little suspicious. Vinyl, think about it, the Doctor said with his hoof to his face. If I really was dangerous, I would have taken care of you all for just finding me in here. Instead, I've been answering your questions and staring dumbfounded that the TARDIS let you in here in the first place. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt, Vinyl, okay? Bon Bon said. Vinyl sighed. Fine, but if he makes a move I don't like, he'll have 2 hoof marks right in the teeth. Agreed, the Doctor said. So, any other questions? Yeah, Lyra spoke up. If you're an alien, why do you look like a pony? Actually, I'm a Time Lord, the Doctor answered. Our species have the ability to look like any other race in the universe. Well, that doesn't sound pretentious in the least, Octavia mused. Time Lord. It just means we can perceive beyond time and space, while some, like myself, can travel through it. How is this place bigger inside than out? Vinyl asked. I don't think there's a spell that can do it. The doctor hummed and thought. In the simplest terms I can employ, the doors to the TARDIS act as a gateway between two dimensions. Granted, one of them is a small pocket dimension that is supposed to exist within the other, but the idea is the same. Why did you run away? Derpy asked. Her eyes seemed sad. I was so worried. I thought Nightmare Moon did something to you. The doctor sighed. Sorry, Derpy, he said, but I had to find more information on her. You seem to know enough, Bonbon pointed out. More than we did, anyway. Oh, please, the doctor replied. Your planet's been telling that story for the past 1,000 years. Anyone who even looks up the brief anthology of myths and legends could know the same. But I want to know the specifics. What happened all those years ago? Were there any tricks to her initial defeat that may prove useful? Suddenly there was a small ding. The doctor turned around and saw the computer had pulled up a file. Speaking of which, he said. He started scrolling through the text on the screen. He was mostly quiet, mumbling to himself. So, Derpy started. What are you doing here in Equestria? The doctor stopped paying attention to the screen for a brief moment. Like I said, I just wanted to rest my hooves for a bit. Even a pony who travels, no matter where he's from, has to stop every once in a while. He put his focus back on the screen. Derpy wanted to ask more, but she heard Lyra make a sharp hissing noise at her, signaling her to rejoin them. Derpy walked back to the group, stopping periodically only to look back at the doctor. When she finally got to the others, Vinyl whispered, Can we really trust this guy, girls? I mean, even if he isn't an alien, he's still pretty weird. Oh, Vinyl, Octavia chided. Weirdness alone does not mean he's a bad pony. After all, I've stuck with you for this long, haven't I? Octavia just got a dirty look from Vinyl in response. I say we give him a chance, Bonbon said. It looks like he wants to help. Besides, if he does pull some shifty moves, there's 5 of us and only 1 of him. No alien could be good enough to beat those odds. I like your style, Bon, Vinyl said. Like I said, Vinyl, Bonbon reminded her. Last resort. We may not need to anyway, Lyra pointed out. He's just looking at that screen thingy of his. I've been with him all night, Derpy said. If there was anything going on, I think I would have found out something by now. So it's agreed then, Octavia said at last. For now, we trust him. Everyone nodded. Vinyl just grunted a reluctant agreement. Oh, now this is interesting, the doctor whispered. The other ponies ran up to the console to get a look at the screen. What is it, Doctor? Bonbon asked. It's a prophecy, the doctor replied. It reads, On the longest day of the 1000th year, the stars shall aid in the nightmare's escape, and she will bring about nighttime eternal. Tell me, how long has the summer celebration been observed? That's easy, Lyra responded. This marks the 1000th celebration. There were a few reports of protests from the bigger cities like Manhattan and Canterlot that the princess chose Ponyville of all places as this year's location. That's it! The doctor suddenly shouted. The other ponies shrunk back. What is it? Derpy asked. The stars, the moon, the image of the pony's head in the Maria. He continued shouting. Back at the celebration, I noticed some of the stars actually getting close to the moon, even touching. That explains why Nightmare Moon is back. She's been trapped within the moon for a millennium, slowly regaining her power for her escape and takeover. She was gathering the stars, the strongest source of energy in the universe, to engineer it all. Brilliant! So how do we stop her? Vinyl asked. Still working that part out, he replied, but I should be getting close to an answer. He continued scrolling through the text on the screen. Ah, this should prove useful. The original legend of Nightmare Moon. The doctor looked at the words. Not much we don't already know. Oh wait, here's something. Everyone else loudly said, What? It says here that Nightmare was once one of the 2 sisters who ruled over this land. One to raise the sun at dawn and the other the moon at dusk. That's her. But she felt useless because every pony sleeps at night. She went mad with jealousy and became the force of darkness we saw back in Town Hall. To stop her, her sister used something called the Elements of Harmony to banish her in the moon. Does that mean these element things can stop Nightmare Moon? Lyra asked. It's about as good an answer as we can get, the doctor answered. Worst case scenario, we're no closer to failure than we are now. All that would have happened is that time would have been wasted on a lost cause, and I really hope that turns out not to be the case. The question is, where can we find these elements? He started typing into the computer. New information started rolling across the screen. Ah, here we go, he said eventually. The elements of harmony are said to contain the strongest magic in all of Equestria. The total 6 elements exist. Laughter, kindness, generosity, honesty, loyalty, and the last, whose name remains a mystery. Oh, that's interesting. What is? Octavia asked. Speaking modestly, I have a treasure trove of knowledge, and the TARDIS easily provides me with what I would be able to call up automatically. So to have one detail missing is quite surprising. Unsettling, even. Who cares what they're called, Lionel said. We just need to find them and use them to knock that alicorn back to where she came from. Quite, the doctor replied hesitantly. Very well then, the last known location of the elements of harmony is in the castle of the Royal Pony Sisters. Are they there? Derby asked. It's as good a place to start as any, the doctor pointed out. Just let me run a quick scan on my UPS and... bingo! The castle is in ruins, but still standing, and as a bonus, it's close by in a place called the Everfree Forest? And that was chapter... what is this now? Chapter 4? Yeah, chapter 4 of My Little Background Pony, Friendship is Magic. The Doctor is in. You can imagine why I love this chapter so much. There were a lot of references, a lot of stuff got explained, and I don't know, I just loved it. It was... I had so many attempts on this one because there were so many voices, because now literally that was like 6 voices, I think, I had to pull off. Also, it's Saturday and I feel lazy, and yeah. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Go look at Comic Fan 616's page, and leave a comment there if you like the story, favorite it, and if you don't have an account on FIMfiction.net, leave a comment here. I know he's been looking at these, and I appreciate it. I hope I'm doing justice to the story, man. If not, somebody else will come along and do justice to the story. Eventually, we can forget all about this. Alright, well, again, happy holidays, every pony. The next chapter should be out relatively soon. I might have 1 or 2 before New Year's. What day is it? Recording this on the 27th, so might have 1 more before New Year's. Good way to wrap up the holiday. Well, anyway, like, comment, subscribe, and catch y'all later. Stay brony, everybody.